Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abraham Deng, and we are going to look at the application of statistics in data analysis. And first of all, we are going to define what is statistic is, which is the science of collecting, analyzing, presenting, and interpreting data. Many institutions and government institutions use statistics in a different way, especially in economics activities and census. Statistics is divided into two parts, into two types. The first one is discrete statistics, which involves the organization, some summarization, display of data. Descriptive statistics helps us in applying large amount of data in meaningful way. The second one is inferential statistics, which is also about data collection from a small group, which can help in concluding about a larger group. So, we have application of statistics in many different ways. And the first one is in data analysis, financial market, consumer market predictions, business statistics, education, and there are very many others. So we looked at the major problem of this project, which we are going to see in the application of statistics, is that Mr. Robert is an entrepreneur and a successful businessman in Kenya, and he wanted to start a venture in the real estate, but he's worried of the risk because he is not having enough information on what the business all about, the customers he wants, the clients, or maybe other factors. And we know that in the US, there are many people in many other neighborhoods in New York City, including the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, and many other neighborhoods that are willing to rent and actually coming to tour around, to look at the museum, to look at very many beautiful parts of the city, but they will need accommodation. So the nature of the solution we are trying to provide is that for Mr. Robert to avoid and reduce risk, he has to hire an expert to collect enough data on already existing real estate business. For example, the already existing A and B real estate company that provide accommodation to all travelers, tourists, and other people who want to stay in the US. So in this research, the aim of this research is to collect the data and visualize it so that we understand the project expenditure, the capital needed for investment, and minimize the risk. So statistical methods can allow a manager to evaluate the project under different economic environments, changing consumer preference and strengthening the competition. So we have very many ways we can calculate statistics, and one of these the mean, the median, the median, variance, and standard deviation. And one of the formulas is this for mean. The formula for mean is x, which is equal to summation of x out of n. So we are now looking at the application of statistics in data analysis. So how can we use statistics when data is given? So in this way, we are going to look at very many ways where data can be visualized, can be interpreted using graphs. We have different types of graphs. We have the pie charts, we have the bar graphs, we have the line graph, with star graphs. And we look at our first data here, which is the names of the houses, of the rentals and the prices. So, and we see our data, which is the bar graph, showing the increase. We say on our recommendation, we say this graph is showing the average prices of 5 vacations. These are 5 vacations with the prices, and we see that it starts from the smallest to the largest bar, which is showing that from the least amount to the highest amount. In our second In our second data, which we have the neighborhood, the types of rooms, we have the room, we have the private room, and we have the shared room. So in this room, we have all the information given, the number of rooms, and we have the stack bar here. We know that this stack bar graph is showing the availability of room types for the different neighborhoods in New York City. This simply means tourists always are more in neighborhood groups. When we look at this stack bar here, we shall realize that there are many neighborhoods that are overcrowded than the others. The Brooklyn and Manhattan have a lot of guests, and we can see that these guests mostly occupied a greater part of the entire home and private. So these are the two types of houses that are liked by guests. And this is where we would like to recommend Mr. Robert to analyze it better and see which rooms are wanted by the guest and where can these houses be built for him to get the number of clients he expects. So in our data, we have the room type, which is the room type, and we have the number of reviews per month, and we also have the number of reviews. So when we present this on the bar graph still, we see that the entire home has got very many reviews. These reviews are in form of customers' feedback, the client's feedback. The client sleep in the house for a given night. He or she give the view or his or her view on the experience in the room. And we look at this graph and we realize that many people there were many reviews on entire house, entire home, and private home as compared to shared. So, and these reviews per month are more. So in our last review, we looked at the data, which is also giving us the room type and the minimum nights. And the minimum nights are here. We visualize this graph using pie chart, and we have many people sleeping in the entire home in about 61.2% on the pie chart, as the pie chart indicates. And the second one is the private room, and the least is the shared room. So this simply means that for Mr. Robert to have a successful business, he has to avoid building the shared room, because they are not liked by very many clients, and focused very much on building the entire houses and the private rooms, which are liked by very many clients. So finally, in our recommendation, we say that this project analyzes the vocational rentals for this Airbnb company, which is actually similar to what Mr. Robert wants to set up in New York, in the US also. This is to identify the busiest host. According to the finding of the expert, which is my finding, there are price variation, which is depending on the room types, depending on the prices. The prices also affect this. This graph indicates the entire home, which is the apartment, being the most demanded, liked by many guests. The entire home will be 483,928 reviews compared to private, as compared to 463,545, 463,545, meaning that the entire apartment is leading by far. There are many people who like the entire apartment as compared to shared. So in this review, we would like to recommend Mr. Robert to invest more money in entire home or apartment and private rooms, because they are preferred by the majority of guests and tourists. Mr. Robert should also target the busiest boroughs, Brooklyn and Manhattan, Manhattan that have a lot of tourists for better business. Thank you very much.